Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, everyone? What's up, Junie? What's up, Esyan? What's up, Delansky? Repping the Monster Cat shirt today.
New subscriber.
Yo. What's up, Popcorn Pro? Thank you for the sub. How's it going, Anthony? I was really enjoying working on that 140 BPM house thing, so I thought I might continue working on that today. Yeah, you're right, Esyan. Oblivion did have a remaster. I didn't buy it mostly because I don't know. I wasn't that interested in a remaster of it, to be honest, because like the best parts of it to me were the glitchiness, and I actually, well, that's one of the things that I think wasn't really removed from the game. There's still a lot of glitchiness when I remember seeing like social media clips going viral during the release. Still better than Skyrim on toasters and rice cookers. Yeah. Damn, that game. I was obsessed with Oblivion when it came out. I love those kind of like exploratory. It hits like the right balance of kind of freedom to do what you want, but then there's still quests where you can kind of get lost in a tangent and, I don't know, kill some demons and get some powerful ancient artifact. And yeah, it is a bit of a shame that there hasn't been more, I don't know. Yeah, I would have loved to have something in that vein from Bethesda. You know, the Oblivion Sky. I know they have. I know they've released plenty of stuff since Skyrim, obviously, but nothing that has really piqued my interest, I'll say. But anyways, so today is Tuesday, February 17th, and we are Only Elder Scrolls is good. Yeah, it's Fallout New Vegas. Right. The Fallout franchise is another aspect of it. 'Cause I loved Fallout. I think it was 3. I was really obsessed with 3. And then 4 was the more recent one, which I also really liked. But it took me a while to get into it. I think partially because it wasn't as convincing at launch than it is now. I think they really patched it up pretty nicely from what I remember. Alexa, turn on office light. Check out Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's not Bethesda, but it's nice. I've never heard of that. I'll definitely give it a look. But yeah, let's see. What was I doing? I was just working on this track a little bit more. I'll show you guys where things are at currently. Oh, why is this muted?
I see the light, see the shine, I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, kid?
Oh my god. Sorry. Holy shit. That was the most intense sneeze I think I've ever had.
my choice.
I don't I don't know what I was doing here. Oh, that's why it's so loud. I was like, why does it feel so loud? I think I was recording this little stutter thing here. I actually was kind of thinking like this could be a cool way to start the song almost. Like this little groove. Sneeze House? Yeah, sounds about right. Whoa, I'm gonna have to watch the VOD on that because that was crazy. That was like a cough sneeze combo. It was both at the same time. I'm pretty sure. What if we just start the song like that? I do like this intro idea as well, but let's try this out. I am going to create a bunch of space here. And I'm gonna throw this. I also am like hyped on coffee right now. I had a quad shot this morning, so I am ready to do some work. So let's grab this. We'll throw it. I don't know, somewhere around here. I don't know exactly how many measures we want, but we'll figure it out.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, I see the glow.
Doesn't really sound that great in the mix there, but let's just keep experimenting. I really like the idea of starting with this groove, like no chords, just kind of, well, no actual chord progression, just kind of like this. Let's add some delay. It's kind of cool. Okay. To this, there's a bunch of ideas that like things that I wanted to do that I haven't gotten to do yet. So sometimes, I found this is a pretty effective. It can be a pretty effective method for the most part. You guys know that phrase like "Don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today." And I feel like when you're producing, you just need to you just need to take advantage of those ideas when they come about. Let's see. I was just trying to add a little more oomph to the drop clap to differentiate it from the intro. I think we can get rid of this clap probably. Let's copy this over here, and then we'll remove these for this version of the clap. and use this one in the drop. It's probably a bit too much, but okay, this like rhythmic stuff is giving me an idea as well. So these chords are kind of they have this release, and I was kind of thinking like it might be cool to have like this little syncopated short version of these. So let's get rid of the release and the decay. Yeah, literally like something like this, without the delay. Okay. And then we're gonna try to create some syncopated thing here that will play off the main riff. I actually don't really know exactly how to play it, so I'm just gonna program it. Yeah, it's kind of there. It's not perfect, but it's kind of got roughly the idea. Let's get rid of this. It's a little bit too clicky. So I'm trying to think about how to remove some of that clickiness. That's kind of nice. Okay, this is still a bit loud, maybe. I don't know. I don't really like how this is sounding in the mix right now. Something's gotta change here. That's a little bit better, I think. Yeah. Nice. Let's get a diffuser on here just for the hell of it. Okay, nice. And let's go back to the intro. Try to see how we can make this thing work. I don't think we want the piano to play that necessarily, but I don't know, maybe we can get some other sound playing those chords there. I know I have this patch here that I made yesterday, or Sunday rather. Where is it? This thing. I do like that, but that's more like a background pad in my mind. So I want something else to replace that. Why don't we just maybe we can go through some Nest stuff. Keys. Why not? Disclosure, but Haywyre? Nice. I'll take that. I like this, this patch is nice. It's kind of cool. It's kind of nice.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, kid? I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am. It wasn't my choice, 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 choice. It wasn't my choice, choice, it wasn't my choice.
I think these are maybe, these offbeat things are, there's maybe too many of them. Let's go like... maybe something like this. Yeah, I think that's better. It's subtle, but yeah. This intro feels a little bit boring, kinda. A tiny bit boring. I mean, I do like the idea of it starting like this, so why don't we add, let's say, like another 8 here. Give us a little room to sketch something here. Let's assume we'll have this section here to start. Maybe the verse starts right after this.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
Could work like that. Let's see.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, I see the glow.
Yeah, I think like just a small little break here. That's probably enough of a intro groove.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. It wasn't my.
And let's have this decrease here.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, yeah? I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am. It wasn't my choice, choice.
Well, so far that feels okay. Why don't we record some of these chords here?
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, yeah? I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am. It wasn't my choice, 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 choice. It wasn't my choice, 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 It wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice.
Cool. And then why don't we grab this effect rack and we can put it on this other comb filter synth thing.
It wasn't my choice.
I know we have these other random weird chord. Those things are kind of cool too, but I had a different vision for what to do here. I thought that let's take this MIDI and let's try this out. Let's kind of experiment with the timing of the beat repeat here. That's pretty close to what I was kind of thinking. I wanted to try to sketch out here. Timing is a little off. Hold on, I gotta mute my phone. Oh, it's my mom. Whoops. Give me a sec, guys. Never ignore the mom text. She's dropping off some cheesecake, so I'm kind of hyped on that. I don't know where to put the repeat here. Not too crazy about... Could kind of like maybe switch from like the AB to BA here, kind of. Let's see. I was kind of hearing something. Can you riff, please? Like, like a Reverie. Wait, why do I not remember how Reverie goes? There we go. It could kind of work over this, actually. Although, if we really want to make it sound more like Reverie, then we gotta get a different lead patch going here. Forget. I think it's this one. It actually works pretty well on that. Although that's giving me an idea. I wonder if we need like a little bit of more of a melodic section to alternate with the vocal. Yo, thank you for the sub, Darius Hawk. Let's see. I was kind of enjoying playing over this, but
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. Wasn't my choice,
it does feel kind of busy in a weird, not so good way, but I think I want to simplify these vocal chops a tiny bit. Maybe I can find a more gentle lead instead of this kind of bigger, more bombastic sounding one, which I will do in a moment. But I do also, I don't want to get rid of this one because this fits kind of the vibe a little bit. Okay, I don't actually know. I don't think this, I like that there, but maybe we just kind of like low pass things a bit and just keep the groove going, but make it more subtle. So we could go like, let's see. Yeah, shorten it a bit and then low pass it a little bit. And then we could do something similar here with these chords. Let's go in here. Mix. We'll control the mix for this. Oh, wait. Let's remove this. Like that, maybe. Let's see. Okay, we just need to do something similar here with this other patch. Filter. I get the mix here. Automate this like that, and get LFO1 on the cutoff, and we should be good. And then maybe there we could do that kind of like stutter 16th note stutter thing that I was doing earlier. But anyways, that could be cool because I do really like the groove, and I don't want to just completely remove that from the track at that point quite yet. Could have a little fake out there, actually. Could be cool. And then, I don't know, maybe we bring the vocal back in at that point. We'll see. Vi shall see. Chairboard coming in hot with the inexplicable questions. Have you? I may have. I may not have. It's a question that's haunted me for many years. I want to try to get some different, more interesting kind of qualities going on here with this. Let's go through some tables. I wonder if we got a new follower. What's up, Raccoon? Thank you for the follow. I'm trying to think. I want to create some weird overtones somehow and some weird harmonics, but I'm not sure. I don't think this is the way to do it. I think maybe FM, some weird synced. That's kind of cool. Huh. What if we did an LFO or more of an envelope type thing on here? It's got kind of a Rugrats vibe in my mind for some reason. We could try this. I don't know. I'm not really convinced by this. I'll keep experimenting with it for a little bit. Or we can just throw in, maybe experiment briefly with Some leads. Go back to the intro here briefly.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, yeah? I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
I don't know, maybe the drums should just like... Should this entire section be a build?
My choice, my choice, it wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
It could work if I maybe make this a little more of a thing. What if the what if there's like a kick drum that went like dun, 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 dun. Let me try this out. Like this maybe? Whoops. Except no side chain. And a different kick. Let me find a sample to work with here real quick. Yeah, honestly that's fine. Let's use this. Yeah, let's just throw this one here. G1. That should be out of the sidechain range. Okay.
My choice,
Okay. It's not really the kick sound I want there. Now that I'm hearing it in context, so let me. Yeah, I think I want to try this one instead. Let's shorten it a bit. Yeah, and then let's get the lead going on top of this.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
I feel like that adds a little bit of energy to this section. I'm not like 100% convinced by it, but let's try it anyways. Okay. I like that. I like that. I wanted to grab some stuff from the old intro. Where is that? Yeah, let's grab this. I think I want to grab this as well. This is sick. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mooger. Something about this transition is not really working for me, but I think it's because a lot of the momentum from like that 16th note pattern just disappears with these very legato.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, and I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, kid?
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, and I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, kid? I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
Maybe I'll get rid of the little embellishment percussion things. Yeah, and then also let's get rid of this stuff here. Cool. I think we can maybe I think we need maybe another layer here, something. All right, I'm still hearing just a subtle little additional voice leading layer here. So I don't know. I think I need to. I need to just throw something on top of this. I can figure out how to sound design it later. Thought it'd be cool if this actually just like decreases instead of. Okay. Wait, that almost would mix like perfectly into is it them changes by Thundercat? Actually, a Speedhouse version of that track could be kind of hilarious. Hilariously bad or hilariously good? Is it G minor there? I actually don't think it works really with the 140 tempo. But anyways, I think after this I do want to have just like a chill, a more mellow vocal piano section here. So
it wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, and I see the glow. So I don't die, just make the most of what I got here. I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
okay. Maybe not that part. But I'm just gonna record a different piano portion for this section here.
It my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, and I see the glow. So why don't I just make the most of what I got, yeah? I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
Okay, anyways, I think I might call it here on this idea for the time being. I would actually be curious to compare this to the other version of Gone for Good. So why don't we render this into this folder? Oh, right, I should probably save this as a newer version. Let's go ahead and render this. And then we'll take a look and see what else we want to work on the album. I wonder if the rest of the Gone for Good vocals could also be a good fit there. That's a good question. Yeah, I just realized I'm only using like the hook. But there's not that much more in the other version, I don't think. My boy the Cappuccino's been chilling. It's kind of the perfect spot for him. Young Cap. All right. Looks like that just finished. Let's open up where's the album playlist? There we go. Oh yeah, well, we're doing a totally different version of What Would It Take as well. I wonder, we should listen to that again, see what was going on there. So this is the older version.
It wasn't my choice, but here I am. I see the light, see the shine, and I see the glow. So why don't we just make the most of what we got, yeah? I know it won't be long before we're gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am.
Cool. I do like it a lot. It's got a very different feel compared to this.
So why don't I just make the most most of what I got, kid. I know it won't be long before I'm gone for good from here. It wasn't my choice, but here I am. It wasn't my choice.
Very different approaches to the same vocal. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. I don't really know what to make of this. But they could be two different versions, two different mixes, which is totally fine. I have no problems with that. But yeah. Wonder what else should we work on? Yeah, I don't really know. Not really sure what I'm feeling right now. It's like a VIP compared to the original. I kind of agree with that. It does have a VIP feel. But you know, I think if I incorporated more of this new vocal, these vocals are a bit newer, I think, than what I included in this version. But yeah. This is a pretty sloppy improv of these I don't know. I'll have to figure that out and practice it, but I think that's gonna be cool leading into Euphoria. baritone. I think I was trying to incorporate that into the intro of Euphoria, but I didn't really like how it turned out. I had this thought that it'd be cool to do these like sine wave harmonies, but it kind of, I don't know, I don't really like how it turned out. I definitely think that that could be a cool vibe to lead into the drop. I'll just have to kind of, I think, redo the sound design in Euphoria. Redo that a little bit. And how was Super's Power sounding? What was going on with that track? What was Drop could definitely have more ear candies for sure. Do you plan to keep streaming after the album is done? Yeah. Maybe just less frequently.
Pulling my strings like a symphony. Forte, piano, vibrations speaking all to me. From pen to paper, notes are flowing out of me. Are these choices mine or are they all just made for me? I can feel it in my bones. I can feel the bar in the blues of my mind. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel the bar in the blues of my mind.
Yeah, the idea's there. Just still missing some stuff for sure. But I do like it. I think this might be an older version of What Would It Take. Let me check this out briefly too.
To learn
Oh yeah, this is definitely an old version. Let's take a quick look at What Would It Take. Let's save this. Yo, what's up, Max Rob? Fire, I appreciate it. Bridge is very grab-it sounding. I like it. Grazie. I will not complain about a grab-it's comparison. Yeah, let's just take a quick look at this project file. I'm not 100% sure if I'm like gonna stream the normal time today. For some reason, I feel like I might want to work off stream a little bit, but we'll see. Let's take a look. What were we doing? We're doing some kind of weird like Deadmau5 style version of this song, right? a little cat synth. That thing's not sounding too good at the moment. feel like this could be a cool moment to bring back some vocals. What would it take? Yo, thank you for the follow. Haywyre, I want to know, when you're done with the tune and send it to digital platforms, you export with the ceiling of -2 dB true peak? No, I don't do that. I mean, I know that DSPs have their preferences. I think maybe that's a Spotify preference or something, but nah, I don't really pay attention to that. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't either. You know, I'm not sure if that's necessarily correct or not. But hey, it doesn't stop people from listening to my music, right? So I don't know.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn?
I'm just realizing there's a lot of 4 to the floor stuff in the album right now, isn't there? I don't know what to make of this, by the way. Like, I don't know if I like this that much. It's really fun to play. Like, it's definitely a really good time. Hold on. What is it doing here? So it's got a little bit of a cheesy feel to it, which is okay, but I just I don't know. Feels like a little too on the nose for me at the moment. No problem. Saw a legend of my playlist and had to follow. Hell yeah. Didn't know you streamed. Yeah, welcome. It's kind of a more recent thing that I'm streaming regularly again. I streamed a decent amount in like 2017, and then I got back into it briefly around like, what was it, 2020, I think, during the pandemic. I might be wrong about the exact timing of that, but yeah. And now I've been streaming very consistently since June of last year again. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, you guys. For some reason, like I kind of lost some of my momentum here today. I was like really excited to work on that Speedhouse track, and now I'm kind of like, I don't really. Nothing's really piquing my interest right now, and I feel like one of the things I'm trying to be better at is to not I don't know, to really recognize that point of depreciating returns in my creative workflow, because like sometimes just adding things for the sake of like trying to explore new direction and hopefully having it contribute to the end product is not the right move. Like I find that sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, I'm in this only partially creative mind state where I'm like almost thinking just as much about just finishing the a song from like a productivity standpoint versus like a creative standpoint, like really listening to it and thinking like, oh, what is this need? What is it? What am I feeling? What am I hearing this track developing into? And I feel like if you're not kind of like very actively working on a song from that perspective, it just is not really helpful, because then you spend a bunch of time making something, you hear it, a few days later, and you're like, what? I don't know. It's kind of whatever. But yeah, I mean, you can't always know what's right either. Of course, in that process going from A to B, from nothing to a finished track, it's not. I don't think there's always some kind of perfect formula, or anything. But I do just kind of feel like I'm not in a place to do much else this stream. So I apologize, y'all, but I might just kind of like start winding down here. But I think I just need to spend more time working off stream as well, because I'd like to balance those things a little bit more. But thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit today. I appreciate it. Did Da Vinci have a point of diminishing returns? It's a good question. I feel like he probably did. Everyone has a point of diminishing returns, no? Just set the project to 150 BPM. Perfect. Easy. Before I go, I don't know if any of you guys are Mac users, but I'm kind of like, ever since I switched to my Mac Studio, I kind of am craving like some other video games, because all I've been playing, all I've been able to play really out of my normal, I don't know, group of games that I like to play is like Minecraft, but I get sick of it very easily. So if you guys have some other video game suggestions, let me know. I did play a little bit of No Man's Sky. I haven't touched it in a while, but that's a fun game that is Mac friendly. Deadlock, Hop in Terraria, Factorio. I've heard good things about too. I'll have to check on that. What's Terraria? Hold on, let me Google this. Terraria, dig, fight, explore, and build. Okay, sounds like something I might be into. And I have thought about trying out Factorio for some time for sure. Thomas Was Alone. That's a game? Hytale is pretty fun. Want to do a peak game? Hell yeah, I do. Terraria. Damn, everybody's talking about Terraria. Okay. I'm curious. This looks like a bit of an older game. 2011 release date. That's 15 years ago. Interesting. So it's 2D. Interesting. Definitely might give this. It is Mac friendly, so I could give that a shot for sure. Chess. Yeah, chess is I'm absolutely terrible at chess, but I might give it a go someday. Sound Dodger, check that out too. A chess streamer, dude. I need to put in some off-stream hours if I'm ever gonna do chess on stream. I'm pretty terrible. I feel like it'd be a good thing for me, though, to practice a game like that. Planning and like projecting all these different logical, sequential possibilities. I feel like that's a really great skill to have. And it requires a lot of it requires some imagination, I feel like, to like think of all these strategic possibilities. But anyways, okay, enough about that. You got to play Osu. Yeah, I know. I do need to play Osu. I think I gave it a shot very briefly years ago, because they have some of my music on there, and I was really flattered that somebody reached out and wanted my music in their game. So, but anyways, that's it for me for today. Thanks for the suggestions, y'all. Definitely gonna look into those games. Balatro is one that I really love, but that one also, like, I love it, but I get kind of sick of it pretty quickly now. But that one, I was playing a lot of Balatro when I was working on Chromatically and White Lie. That was a good times. Slay the Spire. Also heard of that one. Okay, y'all. That's it for me. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for the suggestions. I'll see you guys next time.